Good morning. Welcome back to the Happy Homestead, and it is Tuesday, August 8th, and we're in the 8th day of the Every Bit Counts challenge. If you remember from yesterday, have my chicken stock or my bone broth in the Instant Pot. I didn't even hear it last night. I was so out. But it's cooked. It's still warm. I shut the Instant Pot off. I think I just unplugged it. But I have not yet opened it or strained it. So it's still very warm and it's ready to go for us. In the meantime, I got a couple things going on here. I have one onion that I am going to dice over on the stove. It's always weird to point when you're looking at the little screen and not at the thing. I have 2 cups of beans simmering. I have a cup of pinto beans and a cup of organic black beans, and I covered them with about 2 inches of water, brought them to a boil, and now they're going to simmer for 30 minutes. I also have 2 pounds of Italian sausage. So it's actually just ground pork. We purchase about 1 pig a year, and we get anywhere between 40 to maybe 50 pounds of ground pork that I turn into a variety of things. And so last night I took out 2 pounds of ground pork, and this morning before I took the kids to school I added onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, basil, oregano, a little red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, fennel seeds, a little crushed red pepper, and it's really just to make it like an Italian sausage. And so that's been sitting for a couple of hours, kind of coming together. I am going to saute this onion with some celery and carrot and garlic and get that kind of softened and cooked down. And then we're gonna cook our sausage, break it up into chunks and cook that. We're gonna add some of our stock. I'm gonna add in a quart of home canned tomato juice that I have from last year. We're gonna add our beans, and we're making a soup. I didn't say that. Hopefully you figured that out. This is a bean and sausage soup, and so I've got my 7 quarts. I'm gonna fill the canner today. Now this recipe is from a totally different book that is called, hold on, I have to look it up because I can't remember what it's called. I bought it, but I don't have it yet, but I found the recipe online as a preview of the book. It is called The Complete Guide to Pressure Canning. I'll show you a picture of it here on my phone. Hopefully that will come across okay. There you go. I'll link it down below as well from the Amazon shop, but it's called The Complete Guide to Pressure Canning. It's got 4.7 reviews, so over 11,000 reviews, average 4.7. Seems pretty good. I'm always looking for some new recipes, especially ready-made meals. And that's the goal today, is to get 7 quarts of a ready-made soup on the shelf. I'm changing it up a bit because the recipe calls for the bone broth and water. I'm doing the bone broth and home canned tomato juice, just to give it a little bit more of a tomatoey Italian flavor. It also says to add kale. I'm not adding kale because we plan to grow kale, like I had mentioned yesterday, throughout the fall and winter, and I can just add fresh greens to my soup when I open it. So not adding the greens. Don't have any fresh celery, but I do have a huge ball of frozen chopped celery from Azure Standard. So I'm just going to break this up and throw some of this in there. You'd probably be surprised with what you can put together with what you already have in your house without having to go to the store. That was my bread. I'm cooking a sandwich loaf for my family. All right, we're gonna add in just a little bit of olive oil and get this on the stove. All right, I'm not gonna add any salt, just because I know there's salt in the sausage as well as the bone broth from last night's chicken. But I am gonna add pepper and just a few herbs. So while that's softening down before we add our sausage, I'm gonna get the stock out of the Instant Pot. I just have a really big bowl with a fine mesh strainer, and I'm gonna pour everything in here and strain the solids out. Look at that gorgeous color. I cannot find a packaged chicken stock that beautiful and that nutritious. And I have preached it before, but you need to make your own bone broth, whether it be beef, vegetable stock, or chicken stock. It is so easy. It costs really hardly anything compared to if you already have the chicken or the bones you're cooking. And you don't even have to have a whole chicken. It can just be drumsticks or thighs, whatever you may have, and do the same thing with your turkey. Make sure you are making your own stock. Okay, the sausage is cooked. I am going to add in my beans. I'm not going to add the bean water though, but I am going to scoop my beans in here. Now the beans are not fully cooked, but this is going to be pressure canning for 90 minutes. So they will fully cook in the jars. Let's start by adding this can of diced tomatoes. I took everything off the stove. It's just on a hot plate here on the counter because I really need to get my canner warming up too. So yeah, I can see I'm going to be adding both. I'm actually going to start loading my jars like this. I'm going to load about 2/3 full per the directions, and then I'll top it off with the stock. You always want to make sure that when you're doing a soup, most likely you'll be pressure canning it, and it's got, you know, solids like the meat and the beans in here. You want to make sure that you're leaving plenty of room for actual liquid, because you want the liquid to be circulating around all of the solids. That is how you know you get to the right temperature, the right pressure to make it a safe home canned product. You want to leave about 1 inch headspace. But that's kind of what you should be seeing right there. And when this really starts going through the canner, it's all going to be bubbling and heating up, and all of this liquid will be going all over. Okay, they're all filled. I did transfer some of the solids over to that last one that was just a little shy. So I think they are going to be perfect. I was able to use every last drop of the chicken stock that we made. So nothing has gone to waste. And I am really excited about this. Only 6 minutes left on the canner, and in the meantime I'm going to do another project. I'm dreading this one, but it has to be done, and that's peach salsa. The only reason I'm dreading it, and I feel like I'm yelling, so I apologize, but that's so loud. Only reason I'm dreading it is because I have to peel the peaches, and I'm probably making it so much bigger in my mind than it has to be. But I've got all my ingredients here. We've got our peaches. These are all homegrown peppers, our onion, homegrown garlic, lime, sugar, apple cider vinegar, and an iced coffee for me. I need it. This is the fiery peach salsa recipe. It's on page 173 of the all new Ball Book of Canning. This is either the 3rd or 4th year that I'm doing this recipe. It is a huge hit in our house. Everybody loves it. It's got that sweet. You can give it a little heat with your peppers or not, but it's just really good and different. So I am gonna get 4 or 5 pints canned up today. I basically have to chop everything, put it in my big pot, get it on the stove, warm it up, make sure that sugar dissolves, and then we just jar it up and steam can it. So it actually is very simple. Okay, I added 1 cup sugar, 1 cup apple cider vinegar, and half a cup of water. I've got my burner on medium-high, and we're gonna bring this to a boil, get everything dissolved, and ladle into our jars. Full day of canning is done. I'm so glad I got those 4 pints of peach salsa completed. I already had 6, I think it was 6 in our pantry, so we've got 10 to go into the new year with. It should be plenty because we have a lot of salsa on hand. And to have that soup, I'm excited about that. You'll certainly see me try that and open that when we do the 3 Rivers Challenge in January and February. But today we are done. Stay healthy, stay well, and I will see you tomorrow.